my peeps. So in this video, I was thinking we could go over some spackle real quick. I'm trying to make this video as quick as possible. Some of the techniques I've already used in like other videos, but there's always the question of how long can you keep the spackle? How do you make it so it's soft? How do you make it so it's hard? Like, there's a couple of questions that I'm just gonna answer as quickly as possible in this video, okay? So these are the 3 spackles that I use. This one is my favorite. This is Red Devil one-time lightweight spackle. It's bright white, and I like the consistency of it, right? Then we have DAP Fast and Final, right? This sometimes it comes with a grayish tint, so you would probably like have to add, if you want it to be white, you would have to add white paint to it. But for some reason, I don't know if they listening to us crafters or what, but this was actually bright white and it was a great consistency. So I was kind of shocked about it, but we'll talk about, you know, adding color to the spackle, right? And then this little one here is from Dollar Tree. It's tool bench lightweight spackling. You find this in the home repair section of Dollar Tree. So these are basically the spackles that I use, right? So if you want to like if you wanted to say you wanted to make this red, right? If you add an acrylic red, it's not gonna be a true red. You're probably gonna get more of a pink color. You're probably gonna get more like a pinkish color, because this is like, it's a bit watered down. It's not like artist grade paint. It's watered down a little bit, so it's not really gonna turn white into red. If you want to get a deep red, I had this for a while, but if you want to get a deep red like this red, you're gonna have to use something like this: Liquitex Basic Acrylic and Cadmium Red. They have several red colors you could use from. This is artist grade paint. This is the paint artists use to paint, you know, whatever drawings or whatever art they do. It's very thick and you don't need that much of it, and it turns your spackle a true red color, right? So let's say you get some spackle. Okay, let's go back. You're gonna need to get some bowls. I got these from Dollar Tree. Right now they have them. They have the bonus set, so you get 3 instead of 2. That's a great deal. The spackle, it really lasts a long time in here if you tighten it up good. If you wipe this lid so that none of the spackle dries on the edges or inside the crevices of this, and you give it a tight seal, the spackle really does last for a while. Not gonna last forever, but I'm gonna say it could last up to a month or more. It depends on what you do with it, right? So I'm gonna put this one down. Make sure you close your spackle up tight, because you don't want it to dry out. So we're gonna use this as our sample, okay? Get my lid. Don't want it to dry out. So this spackle is this is a good consistency for like if you want to make icing. You see that? It's not soft, but it's not too hard. It could still use a little thinning out, right? It's still a little thick. You don't want to thin it out too much though. Okay, I'm gonna put a piece of wax paper down because we're gonna do a couple of twirls and stuff. So what I do, all right, let me cover this up because I don't want it to dry out. So what I do is I keep a spray bottle next to my work area. You don't want to take like a cup or spoonfuls of this to thin it out, because you're going to add too much and then it's going to be to the point where you really can't mess with it. Like, it's not going to keep its shape. It's going to be runny. It's just not going to be what you want. Like if you're making a cupcake or if you're covering a cake or something like that. So what I do, I just give a couple of squirts, mix it up till I get the consistency that I want. Okay? There's no point in adding too much liquid. Just if you think it's still too thin, too thick, just hit a couple more squirts and that's it. Don't overdo it. If you add paint to this, like say you didn't want to have it in white, don't add water. Add your paint to it first. If you're going to use acrylic paint is a little bit more runny and watery, so it'll make your plaster, I keep calling it plaster, your spackle soft. So don't add water first. Add your color first, because sometimes this is enough. This is enough liquid to give it the consistency that you want. And if you add this and it doesn't give you the consistency you want, then you add a couple of squirts of water, right? You can find these little squirt bottles at Dollar Tree in the crafting section, in the beauty aisle, anywhere, right? So say you wanted to make this, you didn't want it so thin. You want, like, this is thin enough so you can make your when you use your piping bag and you want to make decorations around it, this is definitely a good consistency. It's not hard, it's soft, it's perfect. All right, now say you wanted to make, say this is too soft and you wanted to make an ice cream scoop, right? And it's too soft. You're like, oh my goodness, how could I make this thick? The scoop is not keeping its shape, blah, 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 blah. So a lot of people use flour in the spackle to make it, to thicken it up. But I really don't like using real food in my fake bakes. I really don't like using real food in my fake bakes at all. I don't know, it's just, that's just me. So what you can use is baby powder. You get baby powder from Dollar Tree, anywhere, Walmart. But you see this baby powder, it says pure cornstarch. So that's also like food, you know, it's like flour, is just another alternative, is cornstarch. So, because it's very hard to find baby powder that has talcum in it because of all the lawsuits that's been had, you know, with people saying they got cancer from it and stuff like that. So it's very hard to find baby powder with talcum. So I generally don't really like using this either. So what I use is I add a little bit of plaster of Paris to that and thicken it up. But first, let's add some color to this. I'm going to show you how this acrylic doesn't really make it a true red. Okay, you add some red, This is bright red, but any red will do. Okay? So what basically, because, right, pink, red and white make pink. So you're really not going to get a true red. It's just not going to happen. You see that? It's not going to happen. Right? And this is very soft. All right, so now I'm going to add a little bit of this red and see if we could get it to turn it into a bright red. Right? This is thick paint. You don't need a lot. And sometimes when you make paint, when you make your spackle, if you want, you can make your spackle, right? You see how it's already getting brighter? You make your spackle and you let it sit overnight in a container, in a closed container, and the colors will get even more bright, more dark if you let it sit overnight. Okay? See how that is not really a true red because I had added the well, you could make it a truer red if you add more color, but I'm not gonna do that because I'm just trying to show y'all you can get this color red, that bright red. Yes, you can. It's not that far off actually. Add a little bit more red of this and you will get that bright white, but this is not going to give you that. I said bright white, I meant a bright red. This will not give you a bright red. It'll give you a pink. Okay, so basically this is soft. This is good to make. You can pipe with this. You can do, you could cover your cake board, not your cake board, your cake container, your cake foam, your Dollar Tree foam. If you got a gift box, you could cover it with this. This is perfect. Perfect consistency, but it's not perfect to make a scoop. So, like I said, I don't use flour and I don't use baby powder. I use a little bit of plaster of Paris. How much? I can't tell you. You start with a little bit and see how it goes. Then you add more or less. It depends on what your need is, how thick you want it. So this, see, is starting to make it thick. It's no longer soft and creamy like it was, but it's still not the consistency that I desire. So, like, to make an ice cream scoop is still too soft. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more. You don't have to use plaster of Paris. That's what I like to use. There's nothing wrong with using the baby powder or the flour, but some people have had issues with molding. Like it molds, like it gets mold on it and stuff. But usually that is due to the fact that you need to let air hit your like if it's an enclosed cup and you didn't pack it down right or something, it might get moldy. I'd rather just not, like, you know, deal with that. I don't know if this is thick enough for a scoop, but we're gonna try it, okay? But you know when it's thick enough, because you can feel the difference. I don't know if that's thick. I don't think that's thick enough, because you really want the ice cream scoop to keep its shape. So I just add a little bit at a time. I don't add too much. See, I'll show you how much I add. It wasn't a lot at all. It looked like a lot, but it wasn't a lot at all. And you just continue stirring it, mixing it up. All right, now it's starting to get that firm state that I'm looking for, okay? All right, this is what I'm looking for. You see this? You see that? It's not coming off. It will keep its shape, okay? I know I really haven't made like ice cream scoops or anything in my channel yet, but let's save that for summertime. But if you want to get a head start, you know, you can follow these instructions and you can make you some scoops. So, got my parchment, my wax paper, and I bought these. These are really cheap, low cost ice cream scoops. Once you use your ice cream scoops for fake baking, it cannot go back in your kitchen for scooping out ice cream. So make sure you keep it separate, away from the kids, away from the husband, away from everyone, so that they will not use this. So I'm gonna go in here, I think this is enough, and grab a scoop of ice cream and put it down here. See that? It kept its shape. I don't know if this is enough for another scoop, which is probably not. But you see that? Let me pick it up so y'all can see what I'm doing. I just don't want this spackle to get on everything. Hold on, let me grab it over here. You see that? You got your ice cream scoops, right? So I'm gonna throw this back in here because I don't want it to dry out. I just wanted to show y'all the consistencies needed to do your fake bakes. Oh, another thing while we on this subject, while I'm scooping it out and not, right? I'm gonna save it and use it later. But while we right here, make sure this, let me get a wet wipe. Actually gonna get 2 wet wipes. So wipe around the rim of your container and make sure that you don't have it touching this, because then it's not gonna close tight, and you want it to close tight so no air gets in there. So now to clean out this, do not put this in your sink, okay? You could clean this very easily with a wet wipe. Just go in there, wipe it out, clean it good, make sure you get out, because you know it got pink in it. You don't want to do a scoop of white ice cream and get pink on it. But just wipe it really good, and you'll be ready for the next project, okay? A wet wipe. You do the same thing with your tips. When you finish, you throw out the bag that you put in your icing in, and you wipe these with your wet wipe. Just go in there, put your finger in there, clean it up, and that's it. You don't have to, not that you don't have to, don't put it down the sink, okay? Please listen to me. You will mess up the pipes, you will get them clogged up, and that's not what we want, because we want to have fun fake baking. We don't want to cause any havoc or any extra expenses in the household that will keep us from fake baking, right? So the next thing I want to show you is, everyone's like, how long do you keep your fake bake? Your fake icing and blah 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 blah. So I don't have a real day time for that. You know, sometimes it lasts longer than you really think. I've had some last several months. If you keep it closed up really tight it'll last a really long time. Okay, so I had this, I don't know how long I had this, but I had it for too long. If it's this, if the icing is in the container and it's this thick, there's really no coming back from this. Okay, just throw it out. That's all I'm gonna say. Just throw it out. If you want, throw out the whole container. If you have if you live in a house and you have a hose and you could fill it up with water, this spackle is water soluble, so it breaks down in water, and you can clean these containers. Like if you get a pail, first empty it out. Try to scrape out as much as you can. Get a pail, fill it up with water, and let them soak. And these clean up pretty easy. But if you don't have that and you live in an apartment and you can't put it down the drain, or you don't have anywhere to get, just get rid of these. You can get four in a pack at Dollar Tree. It's no big deal. Just get rid of it. Okay? So now look. You see this one? It's still soft. There's still life in here. But it's too dry to use. I mean, it didn't even stick on my finger. But you could bring it back to life and still use it to make some of those fake sprinkles I showed y'all how to do in the last video. Again, you get your water bottle, right? You see it's dry. I'm going to show you it's dry. See, it's dry. It's very dry. It's dry. Let's scrape some of it down, right? You see it's dry, right? You're going to take it's not dry to the point where you can't use it. It just needs to be hydrated. It needs to be, just add some water and watch. You add water to it and it's going to start coming back to life. You see that? Look. Look. It's back to life. You can take this, put it in your little pastry bag and make you some sprinkles with this little bit of leftover I'm trying to see where I put the sprinkle that we made. Hold on, where did I put the sprinkle at? Can't find. Oh, they're right here. These sprinkles are made with spackle. If you check my last video that I uploaded, the one that's called DIY Sprinkles, I'll show you how to make these. I made it with leftover little bit of spackle, just like this. Just add you some water, bring it back to life. Put it in a piping bag, and now you have some blue sprinkles. Low cost. You're not wasting anything, because what would you do with this? It's not enough to cover a cupcake. It's not enough to cover a cake. It's not enough to really do anything with. But you can make you some sprinkles, okay? So you could bring it back to life if it's not too dry, okay? So my favorite 2 tips to use with an icing bag is 1M, which is the big star tip. And the next one is, this is 2D. 2D is also a star tip, but it's closed. So these are my 2 favorite tips, the open star and the closed star. These are very cheap. You can find them for less than $2. I have more than one because, you know, you always need a little bit of extra. Let's see. I think I covered everything as far as I can think regarding spackle. But if you have any questions, just leave me a comment down below, and I'll get back to you and try to answer your question as best I can. But like I said, I'll leave a link to this down below, or yeah, under the video. People always asking me, where is the information? Where under the video, under the title, there's a it says see more. Like you want to see more of what's under the video, like all whatever I list under there. Click on that, and you will see all the information that I have listed. I'm gonna post this, and I'm gonna post the Spackle, my favorite Spackle, because Amazon actually has it on sale. And if you're not following me on my Facebook business page, Peep This Y'all on Facebook, you're missing out, because I post a lot of Amazon. Like if Amazon have some fake bake stuff on sale, I'll usually post a link so you guys can go grab some. Like they have Model Magic on sale. They had, I don't know if it's still on, but they have the Spackle on sale. They have like alcohol inks for resin on sale. And I posted a link. And I also, every once in a while, I go live on my Facebook. Like I just did, I was reorganizing my my fake candy and many pieces that you use to decorate your fake bakes. I just bought me some storage containers, and I was reorganizing, and I share how I organize my fake candy. You know, I usually do it by season or by type or whatever. But anyway, if you want to, you can check that video out. It's on Facebook, Peep This Y'all. The link is down below. And I really think I covered everything, like the basics. I'm sure I didn't cover everything, but I covered the basics. And if you want to see how I do this, like the swirls and stuff, I got plenty of videos showing you how to do the swirls and how to do this, the piping and stuff like that. I already have a lot of those kind of videos on my YouTube channel, so go check those out. And guys, I think I'm going to let you go now, and I'll talk to you later. Stay safe, stay healthy, keep crafting. I'll talk to you guys later. God bless. Bye.